This trade overall had an ultimate risk to reward ratio of about 1 to 12.
Why do human beings hate novelty so much? Before we go into detail on the topic in this video, I need to explain what I mean by novelty. Novelty, or the meaning of novelty, is something that is described as new, right? Anything that is new can be deemed as different. And let me tell you, human beings hate different. Because different means that, it's not necessarily what you're accustomed to, right? And there's change with it, right? And change associated with it. And change is painful. That being said, right? Human beings have a mentality that we need to follow each other. We need to be in cliques and clips and groups. And we need to all do the same thing. And anytime one person decides to do the exact opposite or do something different, they look down on that one person. You ever realize that? I have grown to go against the grain, go against the herd, regardless of the backlash that I'll get, because I'll tell you that you're going to get backlash either way, but in that you should at least know that you're getting some kind of result. Now, what I am trying to explain today is when you understand that majority of traders lose in this space, right? Majority of traders don't necessarily make money, right? And everybody is doing the same thing. Shouldn't that then give you some kind of insight? Maybe I should do something different. I have followed people for a very long time. And it's only when I decided to, make my own decisions and think on my own that I really started to see some kind of meaningful result. And by no means am I telling you that what I do now is perfect or it's the go-to way or anything like that. But what I am telling you is because I now make my own decisions, I feel at ease within myself. I get this a lot, that it is impossible to trade properly with a 10 pip stop loss or to trade good or consistently with a 10 pip stop loss, and you'll lose more than you win and blah 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 blah. Let me tell you something. The mistake you are going to make, or the mistake that you're making, is believing that you have to win every single trade, right? People tell me, oh, that's not real, you can't do that, that's impossible, blah blah blah, all of these different things, right? Not because you cannot do something means that it's impossible. Remember that. That's like saying because you can't see God that he isn't real, or because you can't see oxygen that it isn't real, or because you can't see gravity that isn't real either. That's ignorance. Let me show you a trade I took very, very quickly earlier this week that was taken with a 10 pip stop loss, that was called before I took the trade. So it's not a scenario where I just take something randomly. I actually call this, right? And basically, let me show you what it is I would have done with a 10 pip stop loss and the result. It's actually right behind me here now. We'll step into my computer very quickly, but it might be taking me out. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. That's the idea you need to, or that's the mindset and the mentality, the attitude that you need to go into this industry or come into this industry with. That you don't know anything. All you can do is react rather than predict. So without further ado, let's hop into my computer really quickly. Let's take a look at the trade. Let's see what happened. If it took me out, if it did, it did. If it didn't, it didn't. Let's go.
All right, so we're in my computer very quickly. This is the trade that I would have taken on Euro AUD earlier this week. Today is Thursday, the 17th of February, 2022. I believe I would have taken this trade on Tuesday, the 15th of February, 2022. And let's break down why I would have made this decision. Right now, you would see maybe a screenshot pop up somewhere here, where I would have showed what my decision was prior to entry. I think I said your AUD possible sells not long after I said to disregard because I didn't see the rules that I wanted to see, and then it actually did show itself. So I actually would have said as well, okay, maybe it's still possible, and then that's where I would have entered. Right now, let me break down why I would have entered in the first place. So the rule that I typically go based off of is the rule that I've created for myself, and it works beautifully when you really understand the meaning behind it. Now, before I tell you the rule, we have to understand that the market realistically can only do a few things. It can go up, it can go down, and it can go sideways, right? Realistically, that's only two things, because up and down can be considered as momentum, and sideways can be considered as consolidation. Whether the market is trending or reversing, it is considered to be in momentum, because if it is really reversing, it's going to be moving. That being said, I have a saying, right? And this is where my system really gets its power from. Don't go against the momentum unless a reversal is clear, right? That being said, how do we denote a reversal? A reversal can be denoted by two very distinct peaks at a high or a low. So if the market is going down, listen to me, if the market is going down, you want two very distinct peaks at the low, not peaks at the high, because it's going down, which means if it's going down, the only other direction it can go is up or sideways, right? If it's going sideways, then obviously you're most likely going to be looking for continuations. But if it starts to go up, obviously that's a reversal. So let's look at what is happening right here. So right here on Euro AUD, you can see that there's one peak, two peaks, and then the dealer comes back up and starts to continue with the trend. So if this at this point was a reversal, your two peaks would typically look like this. And this can be denoted as a W pattern, which is what you typically want to see. If this were a reversal, why would it respect the trend here yet again? Does that make sense? Why would it respect the trend and start to come back down one more time? What happens is it comes down and creates a third peak, automatically telling me that Euro AUD is no longer interested in reversing. Because if it will, why would the dealer, which is the person who controls the market, why would the dealer bring the market back down to a low, to an area that is advantageous for traders to buy? Something about that doesn't make sense to me, right? And he goes back up again. And as he goes back up again, he taps the trend line one more time. And as he taps the trend line one more time, he produces something, as I'm going to zoom in here. He produces something, which is my signature setup, which is the setup that I've created, called an ECR, which is a cross of your fast period moving averages to give you an entry technique or entry signal. And that can be denoted as these two moving averages crossing here. Before you ask, the moving averages are the 10 and the 50, but you can use any two fast period moving averages or low numbers, and it's going to work. You can change this to the 11 and the 51, it's going to work. You can change it to the 12 and the 52, it's going to work. You can change it to the 20 and the 60, it is going to work. The only thing that is going to change is where you enter, right? Good. So it creates the ECR right here. So this is automatically now, I am no longer interested in buys, because if it were going to reverse, why is it creating 1, 2, 3 distinct lows? That's a problem. And also respecting my trend here. That's a problem. Remember the saying says, don't go against the momentum unless a reversal is clear. If there are 3 lows, can the reversal be clear? No, it's not. It's an induction. So after the ECR presents itself, I have to wait a little while. You can see this red period separator here. This denotes change of session or market close, market open. What this tells me is that the market at present it has just recently closed. The last trading day has closed and the new trading day has opened. What happens around this time of the day is the spreads are very, very wild. So what I would do typically is wait a little while. And so said, so done. I waited just a little while to let the spread calm down. And what I would have done is used this black candle right here. Let me see if I can find it. This black candle underneath my cursor here to enter on. And as you can see, it did give me drawdown. This is with a 10 pip stop loss, as you can tell here. Let me just adjust it so you can see it. 10 pip, let me fix it here. This is a 10 pip stop loss, as I do always, right? It's never more than 10. It's almost always 10, right? And as you can see, I got maybe what? I would say, how many pips of drawdown is that? I would say what? About 8 pips of drawdown? 8 pips of drawdown. And that's it. I literally just left it to do what it had to do. And if you realize, right? If you realize at that point, it not only tapped the trend line again, right? Recently, it tapped the trend line here again, but it did it here again, right? And then dropped. And as it dropped, guess what happened? It came right back down to this area here, right back down to the zone. Remember this big zone that we had here? This is buyer induction, because at this point, the masses are going to be looking at this area here as a reason to buy because it's a support. And as we know, many traders fall victim to support, right? Thinking that, support is absolute, and because it hit this area that it absolutely needs to buy. And buy it does, but it buys right back into the trend. And remember, we say we don't go against the momentum unless the reversal is clear. This reversal is not clear. So I have absolutely no reason to consider the fact that Euro AUD might be buying. Yeah. Now, I would have been holding it all of this time. And it just continued to do what it had to do. Yesterday, unfortunately, on the island of Trinidad, where I live, the island had a literal nationwide and island-wide blackout for all of 12 hours. So all while this was happening here, I didn't know what was going on with my position. And it kind of come like I was asleep, right? Which is what most of y'all know I do. I tend to trade in my sleep. I couldn't do anything. And I mean, realistically, why should I be frustrated when the market is going to do what it's going to do regardless? You feel me? Just let the market do what it has to do. If you're right, it's going to go where you think it's going to go in the first place. So just let it do what it has to do. You can tell that the dealer is repeatedly tapping this trend line over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And as he got back to this area here, look at what he did. He completely just drove the market in a bearish direction, driving the market over 100 pips yesterday, right? Yesterday. So with a 10 pip stop loss, this trade overall had an ultimate risk to reward ratio of about 1 to 12, right? Think about that, because I had a 10 pip stop loss and it went 122 pips overall in my favor. It is currently floating at about 105, 106 pips in my favor. My stop loss is in profit at this point right here. So worst case scenario, I'm going to be going home with about 85 pips profit. Worst case scenario. Best case scenario, it does not take me out and it keeps going. Now, I want you to think about what I'm telling you here. Even if, listen to it, even if I were to lose 5 trades, today's Thursday, if I were to lose 5 trades in a row, right? Listen to me, if I take, and I do, if I take every single trade with a 10 pip stop loss, I would be down 50 pips for the week. But this one trade, at worst case scenario, I'm going home with 85 pips, give or take. That's the 50 pips that I would have lost. I take it back, and then I add 30 on top of that. And that's still 3% return. And obviously, that is assuming I lost 5 trades before I took this trade. And I can assure you that that is not the case. Before I took this trade, I was break even for the week. So best case scenario, I am going home with 8% this week. You feel me? The answer is not in winning every trade, my friends. The answer is making sure that the trades that are winners, that you can hold them for as long as humanly possible. And until you understand that, you're going to keep losing. And that's really it. That's literally it. At present, I thought while I was shooting the videos of me at the start of this video, I thought that this move here, this big black candle, was going to take me out. If it did, it did. So what? I'm not even salty about that. And if even now it does that, you know what? So what? I'm cool. And if it does not, I'm also cool. You feel me? And that is my secret. That isn't really a secret at all. Right? When I did the interview with the Trading Nut with Cam, right? He said that my strategy is the holy grail, and I had to correct him multiple times that it's not. I do lose. I'm not a stranger to losing, and I'm not afraid to lose. You lose all of your power when you give the market your emotions and you allow the market to scare you into losing, right? Don't fall for it. Be okay with losing, I'm telling you, and focus on your risk reward ratios, and be okay with losing. I'm telling you, you're going to see a difference in your trading. I can almost guarantee you that. You feel me? Risk to reward ratios are the answers. That's it.
So that's a little insight into what it is I do and why I make the decisions that I make, why I choose to do the things that I do, right, and react to the market in the way that I react to it, all right? So if it is you like this video, hit like on the video. If it is you enjoyed it, comment below what did you think. Did you agree with me? Did you agree with my mindset and my reasoning and all of that? Comment below if it is you agreed or disagreed. And if it is you want more content like this, obviously hit subscribe, ring the bell so that you can know when I do post other videos. And yeah, if it is you have any questions, you can reach out to me directly at Ikata Trading on Telegram, or you can follow me on TikTok, subscribe on YouTube as I would have said, and Instagram, you can follow me there. Other than that, have a great day. I will see you all in the next one.